You hate this camera. The camera and the guitar, y'all. And that right there. When I have the music playing and that coming out now that speaker, she just looks at it like, what the hell is going on? All right, so let me swap the view around here. And there we are. Okay. Yeah. Here's a good girl. There's a good girl. All right. So, if y'all can barely see it here, by the time I get back in the truck, though, you'll see it real well. The barrel right there to my left. Another one right here beside me. And I'm down the road. This is going to hurt. Anyway, nice sun. I'm actually facing, there's a junction right there behind me where that big rig just turned, coming this way. Pardon me. That is U.S.70 going east right there where he just come from. So right now he's westbound. I'm facing westbound. And it goes a little kind of zigzags here north by northwest. Now, here's going to be the trick because I've injured myself. My back's hurting. My leg is hurting. Sometimes daddy head hurts, Shelby. The nice thing about living in a big truck, and those of you who, I'll get the light off back there. Those of you who live in a van full time, you know what that bucket's used for. But all right, hang on. I see some nice patch of grass right there. Hang on, Daddy, be right back for you. Sometimes you gotta go. And like, for example, right now, oh, this is gonna hurt. Right now, we are in the middle of nowhere. It's not like the middle of the night, Mother Nature comes calling, and you're just like, oh, yeah, okay, I'll just run into the gas station right here. Well, I don't have that option. There's my load. Fell off way back yonder there in the back corner. Good and tight. Guten. I knew a guy years ago, his name was Gunther. On his shirt it said Gunther, but he would say Gunther. Those 2-inch straps, you just can't get them as tight as the 4-inch. I do cheat a little bit and get a little extra out of them by putting my cheater bar into the ratchet handle, which is that dude right there. Oh, morning.
Good morning.
I'll be out your way in a second.
Oh, you ain't in the way. I was putting that dog back where I said, have we got a low boy coming in here to look this morning? I hope not.
No, last night I just got nodding off, and you know, once you get past that rest area down there at the state line, there ain't nothing. So I finally seen all the barrels. I was like, you know, I'll just sit here. Yeah, so I knew to get out here about sunrise, though. Y'all start coming in, I'll be in somebody's way. So.
No, not really. We ain't doing much over on this side. I think you do remember him telling me a low boy supposed to come in and pick that dozer up and take it to the other side, but
yeah, you had to be looking at this thing. I don't know where you can put that thing with all the pallets on there. Yeah. All right, brother. As soon as I finish my walk around, I can walk the dog and I'll be out of the way.
All right.
Have a good day, man.
Yeah. Come here, cold.
Yes, sir. Basically, it's pretty cool. Sometimes they'll come out here. I'm in the middle of a construction zone. They're doing highway construction here, and you know, a lot of them be like, "Hey, man, you ain't supposed to be here." You know, start giving you all kinds of hassles. So, yeah, this bad boy right here, I'd start cussing it, but I'm trying to keep this clean because it's family channel. I just notice now. On this stack, one pallet missing. That would be that one. And I'm trying to get my straps crisscrossed like you see the one right there. The other one, which is now holding that one right there. I'm trying to get my straps crisscrossed, and one got tucked up in there and I couldn't get it out. So I was like, okay, I'll just climb up here. It's like a step ladder. I do it all the time. I've never had any issues. I'm glad I wasn't doing it on the side of the trailer, which I have done before. and that could have got really ugly. So anyway, that one pallet, I had my hand, like you can see all the little square holes right here, I had hand through the square hole of the pallet up above, reaching the runner underneath those deck plates, so I had something to hold on to. So technically, I don't know why that one even went sliding, because I had my hand actually being on the top through the boards of the top one, the next one, second one down, which is now the top one. But anyway, that dude comes sliding this way. Then of course this way. Sorry, but for dramatic effect I had to do that. Anyway, and I, like an idiot, start trying to grab a hold of anything, and the only thing I could grab a hold of is that pellet that is with me coming down because of gravity. So I landed up on top, and these things are rolled up real hard, and I get them little steel D-rings into them, and there's a little bit of view of it. So I slammed right onto that in my back, and then this is what my butt looks like. Apparently I've got a pretty wide booty, and fell through here and banged up my shins on all this right here. I don't know how my right shoulder's hurting. I don't know how that happened. I don't remember that coming in contact with anything. So anyhow, there's my surroundings. Actually, see, this is what I like to do. I like finding places like this. The other than the occasional passerby, which, trust me, at 11 o'clock last night, whatever time it was, 11:30 when I pulled in here, there wasn't a whole lot of anything passing by. And I figured, you know what, I'm only 2 hours from my destination. Yeah, they want it there at 8 o'clock, and it'll be a little bit after that, but it'll be pretty close. So you think, how do you get that pallet to stay put? The other one side was easy. This side, obviously, if I come down here, it's still going to want to fall out. I should have actually come through this hole and then back across, but it works. It ain't going anywhere. It's made it this far. I'm almost at my destination. I started at Fort Worth, Texas. So anyhow, yeah, that would have, if I'd have wound up coming straight down to the ground, that would have sucked. All right. Oh yes, take Shelby out for a walk, and away we go. Anyway, the nice thing about being in a big truck, when you have need of using the bucket, you get a place to put it until I get the truck stopped, instead of it sitting in there with the heater running, permeating, fragranting the air. Come on, Shelby, go outside, go pee. Yes, you don't want to go outside, Daddy. Come on, go outside. There we go. Now, if I can just train her to get back up in the truck on her own. Oh, there's a puppy. There's a good puppy. Oh, yes. Oh, grass. I like tall grass, Daddy. Although it's been so cold, you ain't gonna find no grasshoppers in this. She will. This dog is so funny. She will take her nose and just plunge it into this tall grass like this. And I mean, start digging her snout into the earth beneath the grass, trying to get bugs. And when she come to us, her and another stray that were wandering around together, she loves being out without the leash. I wouldn't usually do this on the side of the road, but one, there's not a lot of traffic. Two, we're actually a good ways away from the actual travel lane. Hopping like a rabbit. Hey, so silly, chewy puppy. And she plus the other thing with her is grass. If she wanders off of the grass, if she realizes, oh, there's no grass over here, she turns around and goes. If we was ever in a big city and where's the spot, I just can't find that. I need the right spot. It can't be any spot, it's got to be the right spot. Turn circles, turns. Oh, good girl. All right, we'll give you some privacy. Nobody wants to see that first thing in the morning with their morning coffee. So, morning, Mike. Anyway, she'll turn around, circles to the left, circles to the right, circles to the left, circles to the left, circles to the left, circles to the right again, and then decide, no, this ain't the spot. Good girl. Yeah, this is grass kicking up 3 feet in the air some days. Anyway, so then she'll move around, find another spot, and then we go through all that circle left, circle right, circle right, circle left thing all over again. The pretty puppy. We're not gonna play now. There's no bugs. It's been freezing. There's no bugs. But she loves grasshoppers and crickets. Every now and then she'll get something in her mouth down in there, and she'll come back up and shaking her head like whatever it was tasted nasty. The expression on her face is priceless. So don't go down there. Come here, Shelby. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. Here's a good puppy. Oh, you're so vicious. Oh, here's a vicious doggy. Arr, 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 arr. You're so vicious. I'm not gonna let play. She wants to play rough, and I let her. Come on. We got places to go. Come on. Come on. Come on, Shelby. Good girl. Watch this, y'all. I have not really trained her to do this. She does this on. Come here. Shelby, damn. Exactly why I should have put her on her leash. Son of a bitch. All right. I'm back. I couldn't figure out. 48% my phone shut off. I tell y'all right now, if you already have a Galaxy phone, then I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. All right, daylight now. Somebody here, a naughty girl. You have lost your no leash privileges for a little while. Well, she did this at the house a few weeks back. Just took off. We had Miss Elaine out there, the mama, she's out there searching the neighborhood in her SUV. I'm out the front door constantly calling her, wondering where she's at. And no idea. I imagine there's a couple empty lots near us. She's out there just chasing critters, I guess, chasing bugs. I don't know. But anyhow, this angle just right. I'd imagine I'll probably be losing service on and off throughout this because the the mountains, you know, there's not a lot of real good cell service in the mountains, and of course we are on my mobile phone. Anyhow, yeah, 48%. The phone just cut off, and while I'm chasing my dog across the road where she never runs. Turn that squelch out a little bit there. And so anyway, couldn't have done that just a couple minutes earlier to avoid embarrassment and on a worldwide network. All right, so anyway, at 48%, the phone just cuts off for no reason at all. Nothing behind me, got a couple in front of me. I gotta get my nose out in the other lane, so we'll wait for them to pass. So I can get out there without taking out these barrels. I have to get my nose across the yellow line. Still nothing behind me. But yeah, 48%. The phone just decides to go kaput. And I'm just like, what the heck? So, yeah, if you already have a Galaxy phone, then you know what a piece of junk it is. I've always said I'd never have an iPhone. I'll never pay that kind of money. Back then, that's when they were only a mere $400 and $500 as compared to $200 for this. Yeah, the phone just decided to take a poop, but it 48%, so I was able to turn back on. Still got plenty of battery. All right, and to get my dog before she got run over by anything. Jeez, anyway. And I'm just bragging, but what a good dog she is. She never runs this, that, and the other, and then all of a sudden the officer comes. She's never done that. Never run across the road like that. So, but anyhow, yeah, my next phone, I don't care how far in debt I've got to go. My next phone will be an iPhone. I've never had an iPhone. Turn that radio off. I'm not worried about where the bears are. I ain't scared of no bears. So, yeah, that I was just like, oh man. Then she starts coming back toward me, and those cars come in on her side of the road. And then at the last second, she decides, oh wait, I smell something good over here. But anyhow, the cellular signal will come and go. Yeah, well, I got S5 now, and my first smartphone, I've only had two others. My first smartphone, which I still have, is a Galaxy Nexus, which was right before the Galaxy S. And I liked it. You know, it's not real big, not real cumbersome. And the fact that I've never had a smartphone at all, I was pretty impressed with what it was capable of. But it was strictly through Verizon, and I've gone prepaid since, so of course I couldn't use my Verizon phone. So I bought a small little LG, and I actually like that little LG. I still have it somewhere, I don't know where it's at. But it was limited in its capabilities, so I thought, no, I need something that has more memory, because I take a lot of pictures, record a lot of video. And I like the size of it, though. It was about the same width as the S5 that I have now, but it wasn't quite as tall. So anyhow, this has worked okay, but even it is limited because of all the video and photography that I do. But then on top of that, which is say I don't know what, I had the same problem with my Nexus. The batteries just don't last in them, for one thing, which I know you can just replace the battery and it's like having a new phone all over again. But I have other issues with it too, like this one here. My Nexus has never done this. My LG has never done this. You know, they're both Android phones, and as is this. But the Play Store just keeps opening up, and it'll open itself up on top of any other apps you have opened, including a YouTube live stream. And I haven't had the chance lately to take the laptop out, which we also have issues with, and take a lot of the video and photos off of my phone, putting on the laptop to free up some space. So I got that picture of that little disc that lets me know I've pretty well maxed out my memory on my, or not my memory, but yeah, your storage. I pretty well maxed out my storage. So the problem is, every time you have all your apps update, and that's what I've done, is I've shut it off so I can choose which apps to update, do so manually. Every time my apps update, they keep on consuming more and more storage space, to the point now that I sat there one day, I got rid of every last photo off my phone, maybe a dozen or so, and I got, you know, your photos don't take up a whole lot of memory, except for when you have bunches of them. And I got rid of every last video, uploaded what I had to be uploaded to YouTube, got rid of everything off the phone, and I still barely had any available storage left. It was enough to make that little disc up in the top of the screen go out, but I still didn't have a whole lot of usable storage remaining after I've done that. So the problem is all the apps that I have, and I don't think I'm overloading with apps by no means, but they're just using up so much space. So I'm like, you know what, instead of, but you can get a bigger memory, but to me, you don't put new wipers on a broken windshield, and you don't put old wipers on a new windshield. If you're going to replace the windshield, replace the wipers while you're at it. And so that's where I'm at now with the phone. I have so many problems out of this phone. I'm like, well, why bother going and getting a new memory card, and then I'll have more space for everything, but I'll still have all the same problems. I think that's just the time to get a new phone. So, unfortunately, you just about have to get a loan at the bank and mortgage the thing. It will be a new phone, I'll tell you that right now. Almost $2,000 for the iPhone XS Max. Got the 6.5-inch screen, 512 gigabytes of storage. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I need right there. Jim the Toolman Taylor, you know. But man, $1,800 you figure by the time with everything, the extra $2,000 for a phone. Of course, now I'll admit it's not just a phone. It's a phone that is also a computer. And actually, the correct description would be it's a computer that's also a phone. So, it's a Hewlett-Packard, and but it had the ability, you know, it had CD-ROM, it had the ability to rewrite and rewrite, you know, burn CDs and DVDs and whatever else, have the video card. It can do a lot of things the cell phone can, even the best cell phones.
After 2 miles, turn right. US 59 northbound. US 71 northbound.
The idea of paying that much money for a phone is, you know, yeah, one way of looking at it, that's not so bad. You know, it's a computer that you can also use as a phone. It's just a small miniature computer, and because it's a miniature computer, it's going to cost more than one, say, the size of a laptop. But the in the end, what it comes down to is just, man, that's still a lot of money for, you know, something that you're going to have in your pocket that you might accidentally crush or might drop while you're using it or whatever else. But I've about had this second Galaxy. I've about had enough of it. If nothing else, I'll go to an LG, but I won't have another Galaxy. I've had enough of this. The Queen, D-E, capital Q-U-E-E, Queen, Arkansas. I didn't catch the population on there. It's a small little city, but it's a big city compared to some of the other towns around here. There ain't a whole lot going on in this area here, man. The farther north, I am north of Interstate 30 and south of Interstate 40. I'm on US 71 rolling north, basically running parallel to the Oklahoma-Arkansas state line.
After 1/2 mile, turn right. US 59 northbound.
And
US 71 northbound. Highway 71
I'm
north.
headed, basically I'm headed toward Fort Smith, but when I halfway between here and Fort Smith, a little town called Mena, M-E-N-A, I guess that's how they say it, Mena. I'm not sure how they actually pronounce it anyway. At that point, then I'll start going east, and which is where the scenery will get real pretty. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's kind of cool out, but it's a gorgeous day. It really is. It's a gorgeous day. Of course, now I don't have all the views that you have from 50 stories up in Mississauga, but did I say that's how you say that, right? Mississauga.
US 59 northbound.
But
US 71 northbound. Highway 71 north.
yeah, it's pretty through here though, and being the gorgeous day that it is, it all the more makes it enjoyable. I am allowed to turn on right. There's nothing coming from the left. Oh, I got the green light anyway. No concerns. What do you say there, truck driver? I always do the trucker wave, even though most truckers don't wave back anymore. It's like Jeep owners, you know. I've owned a couple of different CJs. My first Jeep was a CJ7 in 1985.
Highway 71 north.
CJ7 with a hard top with the steel doors. My second Jeep was a CJ8 Scrambler, 82 model, with the CJ7 hard top on it with steel doors. And you know, people in Jeeps, they do the Jeep wave. People in motorcycles do the motorcycle wave. Just kind of wave at each other passing by, saying, "Hey neighbor," you know, because we're all part of the same community of sorts, same organization. And you know, there's all kinds of four-wheel vehicles out there, but there's only one Jeep. And anyhow, truckers, the same thing. You do the trucker wave when you're out on the interstate passing each other. You do the trucker wave. But nowadays, old school. That's how you can always tell an old school trucker, because he waves back. You know, a lot of the new kids, they don't wave because I guess they just don't know to. I don't know. They get their 2 weeks of training, and then they're cut loose as a solo truck driver. And I guess the company that hired them, trained them, figure they'll learn the ropes as they go. Yeah, this is as hustle and bustle as it's going to get for a little while. Where I'm going, Waldron, I forget if it's Waldron or Waldron, I don't know. I don't remember. But I know that if I stay on this route right here, it'll take me right to it. Anyhow, all right, school bus up there. I used to be a school bus driver. So let's see how many stops that bus driver is going to make between here and the school with me behind him. Although usually the very first time I see them lights flash, I'll just back way off, drop my speed, and that way if they're going to stop and pick up 5 or 8 stops along the way before they turn off, I don't have to keep coming to a dead stop and getting it rolling again from 0. I'll be able to ease on behind of them in a lower gear. Oh, he's not stopping from me at all. He's going to make a turn here, and then I'm going to keep on keeping on. All right. Look. Yeah, there ain't going to be no real big cities. Mina, I suppose, is probably a good-sized town compared to some of the places I can see through here. Yeah, this is the scenery. It'll become more trees and less houses closer up into my destination I go, but being higher up in the mountains. Right now the roads are pretty straight, but I have seen, looking at the road atlas, they get a lot less straight the closer I get to my destination. There'll be a big wide curve takes me back west, and then another one a little ways up the road taking me back east just to get around 2 mountain ridges. Zigzag between them, which I love that kind of stuff. Years ago I had my own truck. This is a company truck, but I've owned my own in the past. I've bought one, traded up for another one. That one turned out to be a piece of junk, got rid of it, bought another one. Had a total of 5, all one at a time. I've never had 5, 10 trucks and 5 or 8 drivers. I've never done that. And anyway, I'd be in places on a Friday getting loaded and have all the time in the world to get where I need to be for Monday. So yeah, it is pretty from here. But the West Virginia, Pennsylvania, upstate New York, man, there's a lot of breathtaking scenery in this country. Colorado, oh man, one time I decided instead of taking U.S.70 or Interstate 70 across Colorado, I'm gonna take U.S.50 up and over the Monarch Pass in the middle of winter. That's the first time I'd ever seen in my life a snow plow that had one blade out in front of it, the other blade standing up vertical beside of it to plow through the snow drifts, because the snow drifts were as tall as the truck was. I'd never seen that before in my life. So yeah, this is real pretty here. I was concerned because like this further ahead, when we start getting up higher elevation, my wife said that they were supposed to be getting 4 inches of snow, which as we can see they didn't get any. She said we got about 1 inch at the house, which we live about the same elevation as this, but farther up the state, up around the Missouri state line, not far south of Salem, Arkansas, where we live at, Melbourne. And so the plan was Friday night for me to get up, had I not got injured, to get all the way up here Friday night, and we'd spend the weekend in the truck somewhere up there in Waldron. And then when she found out there was going to be snow, and I got injured, so I was like, well, we can still spend Sunday together. She said, yeah, but it's supposed to be 4 inches of snow. Now, don't get me wrong, her little SUV is 4-wheel drive, but 4-wheel drive helps you go in the snow. It don't help you stop. And with all the hills and curves, it's all mountainous terrain. In fact, where I'm going to be going is not very far from Mount Magazine. Mount Magazine will be straight east, literally as the crow flies, directly east from where I'm going to be at. That's the tallest point in Arkansas. So that's where we're headed to this morning. And with the threat of snow yesterday, she was like, look, I love you, I want to come be with you, but sorry. Which I can't blame her. Where we live at, the roads are considerably hillier and curvier than this right here. And she doesn't like driving that. When we go to like Mountain View, Arkansas, we'll go up there sometimes. And she's like, you know what, how about you drive? Usually I drive for a living, though. So I'm like, yeah, when I get home for the weekend, I ain't driving nowhere. Anywhere we go, you're going to drive. But if we want to go up the Mountain View, I drive. I don't mind all this. Yeah, some of the curves do not have guardrails to keep you from sliding off the edge should you come around that curve too fast, God forbid, whatever. And it's kind of intimidating. You know, she's a good driver. I can't blame her. I do this for a living, so I'm not bragging on myself, but I mean, I'm a professional driver. I get paid to drive. And I become more tolerant of things that would intimidate most people. But yeah, I would take on a Friday night, get loaded, and I'd have a big, heavy load of steel or steel coils. Steel coils are dangerous, man, because if you bust one chain, all the rest of them are going to break too because of all the momentum that it took to break the one. And especially the way most truckers haul coils, where the eye of the coil is to the sides of the trailer, we call that suicide. The reason why is if that coil comes loose, when you hit the brakes, it's going to roll right down the deck of that trailer, right through the sleeper, and kill the driver. But that is believe it or not, that's the safest way to haul a coil, in my opinion. That's the best way to haul a coil. Anyway, the thing with me though is I'm like Tim the Toolman Taylor. I chain stuff down a lot more securely than most folks do. If it needs 3 chains, I'll use 5. You know, if it needs 5 chains, I'll use 7. Plus, I still put a couple straps over it. Because once you put your tarp over that load, who's going to pull the tarp off just to go ahead and check all the chains? Although, yeah, if you get there and you find a chain loose, you've got no choice. But what do you do if it's raining? If that coil gets wet, then it's a damage claim on you. So after I've chained it, I still run at least 2, and if I can, 4 straps through the eye over all the chains and binders, because the winches are under the trailer, so I can still tighten those as I go down the road and, you know, do a load check. And I get where I'm going, I pull my truck off to the side, and the amount of time it takes me to put up all my gear, if they want you to take everything off but 1 chain, you're going to move around the property real slow, and they don't have the time to wait for you to put all your gear up. It takes a little while. So 7 chains and 4 straps, trust me, it takes on a 46,000 pound coil. Yeah, you want all the rigging you can. And meanwhile, there'll be the amount of time it takes me to put all that up, because I won't say double, but I use a lot more, probably another 3 or 4 chains than some people do. And it takes me a while to put all that stuff away, because I'm a prissy biatch and I like stuff to be just right. So I pull off to the side, there'll be 2 or 3 trucks that'll get in line ahead of me because they're done putting their stuff up and I'm still putting mine away. Well, Mike, here's how I look at it. Your wife, the people you love, your folks, you know, everybody, they drive the same roads I do. And I wish more truckers would think like this, because there's a lot of accidents that could be avoided if people would take the time to really go a little overboard securing their freight to the deck. Then what'll end up happening is, of course, they get in a hurry. Oh, just throw a couple straps over it and go. No lie, I delivered one time up in Dubuque, Iowa, at a place called Damasco. It's been bought out since, somebody else now, but Damasco had these little blue trucks, a picture of a dog in a white outline chasing a red ball. That was their logo. Big steel company all over the U.S., maybe even the world, I don't know, but definitely all over the U.S. So I got there, and the company that I was working with, there were several, Shipper's Choice was the company, there were several of us there, maybe 5 or 6, all loading from the steel mill in Jackson, Tennessee, going up to this plant in the Damasco storage facility, big old steel warehouse all it was. And when I got there, and I'm waiting my turn to get unloaded, certain kinds of stuff, steel bundles will slide, you know, because they're oily and greasy, and just the fact of the way they're loaded. So I won't take my straps off until I actually get in the building. And in the winter time, you know, everything's frozen. You really can't get your straps off anyway without taking the tarps off. And since it was snowing, we weren't allowed to take our tarps off when we got inside. And usually, if there's been straps on the load, because the steel's sitting around in a warehouse covered in dirt, you know, you can see where the strap was on across those bundles. That 4-inch straps left a mark in the dirt where it was at. And the guy unloading me telling me the shipper's choice driver that he had just unloaded previously backed in there, pulled his tarps off, and no evidence of there being a strap on that load anywhere. He loaded it, and I guess he figured there were angles. You know, when their angles are in a bundle and they're laying on the deck, the leg of those angles makes like the shape of the letter A, and it presses into the wood. And so I guess the guy was feeling pretty confident that he can get from Jackson, Tennessee to Dubuque, Iowa without that load shifting. 5 40-foot long bundles, 48,000 pounds of steel, and nothing holding it to its trailer. He got it there, but all it takes is one person to cut you off, and you have to slam on the brakes to avoid killing somebody, and then here comes 5 missiles through the truck trying to kill you. Yeah, ain't it? So my mentality is this: the people you love drive the same roads I do. You know, maybe I don't drive Toronto, but the point is, everywhere you go, trucks and cars are on the same road. And who wants to ever have to look somebody in the eye in a courtroom one day while you're trying to explain what happened in this incident and try to express your sorrow for having killed somebody's loved ones? And I don't know, I think maybe I don't tell everybody. Right now it's just you and me, so, and whoever wanders across this later, which doesn't tend to be very many people. A little more than a year ago, I got in a wreck, and one of the people in the pickup truck that stopped in front of me wasn't seatbelted. He bled out there at the scene. What looked like transmission fluid all over the ground wasn't. And so I'm still going through, over a year later, I'm still going through. In fact, court's really just starting to take off with all that now. You know, and so just imagine all the more had it been something that would have been obvious driver error, and then, you know, yeah, well, I don't sleep real well anymore, let me tell you. The fact that I even still have a job on the road just really surprises me, because the laws are so strict here anymore that anything you do in your car, you know, you got to have a commercial driver's license to drive a truck. And if I'm in my van or my wife's SUV, anything that I do, say if you're doing 10 over, 15 over in your wife's car, no big deal. It's kind of a pricey little ticket, but as far as what you're doing is no big deal. But 15 over in a big rig is considered reckless driving. Well, 60, anything above 15 over. So if I'm in my wife's car and I'm doing 16 over, then it's the same thing as if I was in a big rig driving down the road at that same speed, and I can end up losing my CDL over it. And I'm not even in the truck. So the rules are so strict anymore. But yeah, I just the widow settled with the insurance company. They gave her $850,000. But here's the part that's really kind of making things difficult. The guy that was driving, the guy that didn't even think the fact that he's on a 65-mile-an-hour divided highway, maybe while he's trying to figure out which one of these 4 driveways he should turn into, maybe I'll just pull off on that nice wide shoulder. Instead, he's just creeping along. By the time I look back from my side view mirror, and at first he was, I don't know, maybe a good half-mile out in front of me. Of course, I'm moving along 67 and the 65. I told the cop, I ain't gonna lie to you, as I had my cruise set 2 miles over the limit. They can find out anyway. When there's a fatality, they're gonna go through the truck computer. So why lie about it? And so I said, you know, by the time I looked in my mirror and looked back, there he was. He's right in front of me. I don't think my rubber marks, I don't know how long they were, but when I hit the brakes, but I don't think I was on the brake maybe 5 seconds to impact, if that long. Honestly, I don't even think it was that long. But I'm trying to remember everything because I spent the last year trying to forget. And now the guy who was driving the pickup truck is suing me and the company I used to work for $1 million. Now wait a second. The widow lost her husband and settled for $850,000. Now here's what the problem is. There was only $1 million on the insurance policy to begin with. That's the minimum. That's what the law requires. If you're going to have a truck, you have to have a minimum of $1 million accidental coverage and all that other stuff, you know, for accidental death and, you know, property damage and whatever else. So most companies, because the insurance is so high, that's all they get, $1 million. If the law said they didn't have to have it $5, that's probably all the insurance they had. But anyhow, that only left, when the offer was made, that only left $150,000 for the other fella that was driving the pickup. And he's like, oh, hell no. You know, she don't deserve that money. Her husband's dead, which was his best friend. He was taking his buddy to this guy's house to buy a V8 engine to put in the pickup truck of the fella who died. So he's so compassionate for his friend. He's like, well, he ain't alive to spend that money. She wasn't even involved in the wreck. I should be the one getting $850,000 and her only $150,000. I'm like, wow, really? Because when he first started all this, he didn't even have an attorney. All he wanted, he told the insurance company for the company I was driving for, all he wanted was his pickup truck replaced. It was a rusty old 87 GMC. It folded in half, literally folded in half. And if you ever saw Smokey and the Bandit 2, I think it was, except instead of folding upwards, it folded downwards. But all he wanted was his medical bills covered and his truck replaced. That was all he wanted. And then I guess someone started talking to him, or he probably saw one of those billboards or television commercials. You've been hit by a big truck, let the hammer fall, we'll sue for you. You know, these attorneys like to call themselves the hammer. And last I checked, the only one with the hammer is the judge, but anyway. So all of a sudden, instead of just his medical bills and his truck replaced, now he wants $1 million. And my wife used to do home health care. Here, let me move over and let this guy behind me get by. I'm slow in the hills. So whenever traffic comes, I always try to let traffic by. So of course now there's 4 more cars coming behind him, so I guess I'll let all of them go. But yeah, the guy's figuring now he has actually more money coming than the widow because he's still alive. His friend is dead, but he's still alive. So he's the one who should get all that money. And I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me. The attorney for the trucking company approached these people because the widow was willing. She's not about, you know, no, she's an elderly woman, and this guy, he's not real old. I suppose he's probably about my age, but he the insurance company went and approached everybody because the widow was willing to settle for what they offered her, and the other guy not. And she said, okay, so here's what we'll do. There's $1 million on the table. That's all there is, folks. Sorry. It doesn't matter what you want. This is all there is. It'd be like if you ate the last apple and you want another apple. Well, I hate it because you ate the last one. That's all there is. And so this guy from the insurance company says, here's what we'll do. We'll hire a mediator, somebody who's not involved in either state, local, or even in the insurance company. They're not at all involved in this. So therefore, they're a non-biased party. And we'll all sit down until we come to an agreement of what's fair. The widow said, okay, even if the mediator says half and half, $500,000 each, whatever that guy says, we'll agree to it. And this is how I knew the outcome of this was going to be where it's at now. Because the guy that was driving the pickup truck, even when the widow conceded to the fact that if the mediator's just half and half, we'll accept that. The other guy's like, oh, hell no. In other words, from the get-go, he wanted more than $500,000. He wanted more than half. I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me. But yeah, it's about good old-fashioned greed, man. Good old-fashioned greed. Can't take it with you when you go. You know, yeah, we all want to try to become successful in this life, leave something behind for our loved ones, you know. But I don't know, this guy here just, and he's being difficult. He just ain't, you know. The insurance company tried to work something out with him, but in the end, it's still no $150,000. That's just not enough. You know, they're trying to explain to him. Of course, now here's the deal. Elaine used to work in home health care, so she knows a little bit of things about what certain types of surgeries and certain types of medical expenses, what those cost, what the basically what the bill should be. I get in the lawsuit, I get this pamphlet, and it's got all this information of all the surgeries and all, because he's had back surgery, he's had this surgery, he's had that surgery. This guy he ought to be the $6 million man by now with all the surgery they've done to him. And so they've come up with this this expense report, if you will, itemization of everything. And she's no way. These prices are buku inflated. And okay, so this was probably $2,000. Let's say that was $20,000. This was probably $5,000. Let's say that was $50,000. You know, I mean, this buku inflated. And U.S. 71 at the junction of U.S. 278. We are 25 miles from Mina. Okay, brother. Well, you have your real good day, man. And I'm glad I got to catch your stream this morning. Yeah, I understand, man. I truly do. Have a good one, brother. We will see you later. Happy Monday, man. Marching in. Yeah, hopefully in the morning, man. Hopefully I'll be up in the morning. I might do Mike at midnight tonight, but you'll be asleep by then anyway. I was hurting too much last night and I wound up driving anyway, so here we are. Have a good one, my friend. We will see you when we see you. Yes, sir. Always. Tired feet were fireproof under the boardwalk down by the sea, yeah, on a blanket with my baby where I'll be. I've got music in my head. Probably not. Don't do it. Got 2 cars coming at you. The SUV is tired of getting stuck behind this truck. The funny thing is, once they get past this one, don't do it. Try it again. There's another truck up in front of this truck that gets stuck behind that one too. People are so impudent. We're all doing 55. And just sit back and enjoy the ride. But first off, if you weren't tailgating the guy, you wouldn't have any reason to be so impatient because you'd actually be able to see the view. I'm starting to see a little bit of dusting of snow on the ground. Waldron or Waldron, or I think it's Waldron. W-A-L-D-R-O-N. Once I close this, I'll double check and I'll edit it because I think I've spelt it both ways on 2 different streams. Gouge on it. If you're late for work, maybe I'll just leave earlier. You've seen that old patrol car, and after you already start accelerating, you hit them brakes. That wasn't a patrol car no more, though. That's one of those that are people buy them now and they duck them up to make them look like a patrol car. Of course, it's illegal to put the word police down the side, things of that sort. So they go get crazy with the CB antennas and searchlight on both sides. A lot of times the searchlight don't even work, so they call it dummy. It's meant to look like a searchlight. I don't know why. Like years ago, the J.C. Whitney catalog, when cell phones were first coming out, it used to be a big bulky thing with about a 4 or 5 inch long antenna, and they had a thing you can buy at J.C. Whitney, was an imitation cell phone. That way you can drive down the road, look cool, and complete strangers will be like, wow, that guy can afford a cell phone there, you know. The part about that just cracks me up is that I'm sure people actually would have bought. But why would anybody care what the complete strangers in traffic think about you because you appear to be on a cell phone, which is against the law now anyway. Waldron, 54 miles. Across the top River High School. Oklahoma, I don't get very good service. You know, right here I'm so close to the Oklahoma line, and I'm in the mountains. Y'all look, pay real close attention over the next rise. That dark gray, run puppy. All these pallets, I can't slam on the brakes. I hate it, but I'm not gonna have all this crashing on top of the roof of the truck just because a dog ran out in front of me. I hated what happened this morning. Shelby run across the highway. Man, that's it. I try to let her run, you know, let her get some exercise and everything. She's never done that before. She's not gonna get the chance to do it again, I'll tell you all that. But if somebody would have clobbered her, I couldn't fault anybody but, you know, myself. I'm the one that let her off the truck without a leash. Usually she's really good. She stays close by. If I call her, she'll turn around, come back, make that little sound that lets her know she's about to do something she's not allowed to do. She just stops at her heels. I don't know what made her do that. But I guarantee you, these folks around here, mountain folk are different. I learned that when, I mean, where I live with the mama, it's not in the mountains. We're in the foothills of those Ozark Mountains. And we're very close to them, you know. We're at the bottom of it, basically. Right where you start doing all the climbing. And I found, since I've been there 5 years now, as of 3 days ago. Well, we've been married 5 years. I moved up there January 29th. So just a couple months more than 5 years. I found, if nothing else, mountain folk are entirely different than anywhere else you ever meet people in this country. Cold shoulder treatment is a way of life. So I just know if that dog would have run out in front of me, and I'm not saying I wouldn't have hit the brakes, I'd have tried to slow down some, but I wouldn't have been able to slam on the brakes below the shift. And I've still got 60 miles, which is basically an hour and a half, because of the speed that I'll be doing when I get closer. I get past Mina, you can say goodbye to all these nice straight runs, hilly and curvy. And I guarantee you the folks who come out about the psycho crazy truck driver speeding, which I'm not speeding at all. Speed limit is 55. I've been doing 55, 52. But nonetheless, it'd be because of the psycho crazy truck driver that their dog is dead. Not because the dog's running around without a leash. Because the trucker killed the dog. Turned out entirely differently this morning. I'm so glad it didn't. I love my dog, y'all. I mean, I know that some people will be like, you know, well, it's just an animal, just a dumb animal. And no matter how smart dogs might be, especially compared to the intelligence of like a cat. I have both. I've got 5 cats and 2 dogs. And when it comes to IQ, cats are smarter than dogs, hands down. There's no doubt about it. Shelby's a smart dog. It has the potential of being a smart dog, but every now and then she'll do something so stupid. Just like me, I'm an intelligent man, but every now and then I do something just plumb dumb as a box of rocks. So y'all can't hardly see it. Right in front of me, you'll see a dark stripe crossing over the road. That's the tree line of the road we're on. But just beyond that, you'll see a gray hump slightly off center to the left. We're in the mountains still. That's what that is. We'll get a better view of it the closer we get to it. Just outside Mena, Arkansas. U.S. 71 heading north toward Mena, Arkansas. Then at some point, which the route will still be going north, but at some point in that area on a compass we'll be going east. But it'll still say 71 north, just stay on that. Then eventually get over to Y City. Where did you say, Mike? Y City. How do you spell that? Why? Because I want to know. Oh, why? Because I want to know. No, I'm telling you. Why? That's how you spell it. The letter Y. That's it. The letter Y, space, the letters C-I-T-Y. Y City. I'm not sure where that idea came from, but that's the way somebody somewhere decided to make it. And anyway, at Y City, that's where 71 will split off of whatever the northeast-west route that it's running concurrent with, and I'll go back north again from there to Waldron. Every now and then my wife and I'll be driving around and we come across the names of certain cities here in Arkansas. It's real peculiar names. My favorite will always be Toadsuck. Toadsuck, Arkansas. And see, if you go to a city named Mountain View, you would expect, the reason it's called Mountain View, we're in Hatfield, Arkansas now. The reason it's called Mountain View is because apparently from somewhere there in town there's a really good view of the mountain. Okay. So if you're a mountain home, you'd figure people moved up in the mountains and say, hey, we're going to call this area right here home. Therefore, this is our mountain home. Alright, makes sense. So, now of course, cities like Chicago, Detroit, they're named after somebody or something. But the, in the cases where you name a city, town, village, whatever, you give it a particular name, people wonder what the name implies. For example, mountain home. Y City. Let's see. This morning I haven't heard back from you. Well, I've been hurting, and you pissed me off, so I didn't want to talk to you. My dispatcher. Anyway, I'm driving, so I don't have time to respond. You gotta wonder, when you name a town Toadsuck, what should we name this town? Well, I don't know, since everybody likes to suck on toads around here, let's call it Toadsuck. Salt Lick? I think Salt Lick is in Kentucky, though. Salt Lick. Alright. Not far from where we live is Possum Trot Road. I just can't picture a possum trotting. I would say when you see one, you know, crossing one side of the road to the other, I would say they're scurrying, not trotting. Possum Trot Road. Someone liked that name so much, there's a gas station where that road tees with on Route 69 coming into Melbourne. Just outside of Melbourne, that Possum Trot gas station. Okay. Beverly Hillbillies, Bug Tussle. Somewhere around the northeast of the state is possum grape. What? I have no clue how anybody would have came up with that one. Possum grape, kind of like grape ape, grape soda, possum grape. Nice cabin. Ooh. I like a genuine log cabin. Now that one there was split logs. Looks like a log cabin on the outside. You can tell by the way they're laid up on there. They invert them. One has the curved side facing out. The next one has the flat side facing out. Basically, they put all the flat ones up first, stagger them a little bit, spaced apart, and then they put all the curved ones overlapping the joints and seal them. And that works. It keeps the wind out. But then, once they go ahead and put the inside together, you know, all your studs and everything, they just cover it with drywall. But now the true log cabins, like you see people building in Alaska, oh yeah, I like a genuine log cabin. That's still a genuine log cabin, but it's not whole logs, it's split logs. I go up I-40 going into Knoxville. Just before you get to Knoxville, right around Lenore City, is a place called Honest Abe Log Cabins. They've got 4 or 5 of them on display. A couple of them are modest. A couple of them are clinging to modest, but they're a little more exuberant. And one of them, it ain't modest at all. And I'm like, oh man. It's not big enough to be a ski lodge, but it's definitely big enough to be more than just a 2-person home. You know, home for a couple. You got kids or 2 families, whatever, living together, that would be the perfect sized home. It is huge. And it's a good combination of logs and stone. And it is beautiful. Oh man. Love me a log cabin. If I was ever going to build me a log cabin, it wouldn't be right alongside the highway like this. That's for sure. Can't move over, man. I got all these cars beside me. Pull me over if you want me, straight trooper, but there's not a whole lot I can do about it. That says you're supposed to pull over when there's a police vehicle on the side of the road. He's only a police vehicle. I mean, well, technically, if he's, you know, driving around, yeah, he's still a police vehicle. But the point is, he is not actively doing his job. He's just driving, or if he pulls over. I got pulled over. All right, we're back. I knew that was going to happen sooner or later. We just went up over the mountaintop at Mina. Y'all missed it. Basically, the trees got a lot closer to the road. And it was even prettier than what we've been seeing. The actual town of Mina right in front of us, about 2 miles. Anyway, getting back to that state trooper back there. If you've got your lights on, I have to yield to you. I have to right of way, even if I currently have the right of way. Absolutely. If you don't have them lights on your roof flashing, you're just another car on the road. I don't have to pull over to the shoulder and let you pass because you're behind me tailgating. Thanks for them bright lights there, dude. I get to a stop sign first, so I've got the right of way, but I don't have to yield and let you go because you're a cop if your lights ain't flashing. I stopped, my turn to go. You stop, wait for me to get out of your way, and then it's your turn to go. I don't care if you got a badge, gun, or not. Stripes down the side, state police real big. And I've seen a lot of old cars up here. Wow. But yeah, if you're sitting on the side of the road as a cop and your lights aren't flashing, and I go around you, then I get a ticket. Because I didn't change lanes. I don't think that's wrong. Not because I had to pay a $200 ticket, Waxahachie, Texas. I just think it's wrong. Even if he'd have just given me a lecture and sent me back on my way, and no ticket, no harm done, never bothered to check my log, nothing, which he didn't, by the way, that day. If he'd have checked my log, I'd have had 2 tickets. Think that if I have the right of way, regardless of his badge and stripe down the side of his car at a stop sign, I have the right of way because I'm the one currently in the lane in front of him and he has to wait till I change lanes to get around me. Well then, if that's the case, I'm not having to yield to him because he's a police officer. Well then I shouldn't have to yield to him when he's on the side of the road. His lights ain't flashing then neither. All trucks follow marked highways. With my baby, where I'll be. Well, that song's stuck in my head. That's the one I'm gonna start transposing chords for next. I need a break. I'm so burnt out. I'm not burnt out from trucking, really. I've been doing it for a long time. I really love it. Trust me, if you're the kind of person that can get burnt out a job, it's not going to take 35 years to get there. It's not going to take 20 years. I imagine by 10 or 12 years you'd be burnt out. After that, it's just hanging in there to make your retirement. I'm burnt out because of the people I'm working for. There is money to be made in trucking. Unfortunately, there's a lot that they make sure they make the money and they make sure their drivers don't. What a neat looking old railroad depot over there on the left. I love stuff like that. We are officially in the town of Mina. Old police car sitting up underneath the old police car sitting up under the canopy of that old railroad depot. A lot of those depots, of course, they're not used anymore, so they either let them go to crap, like one at Paragould, Arkansas. But I think someone's planning on restoring that one. Or like this one right here we just went past, they go fix them up and turn them into a museum. Which is actually a good idea because, you know, a lot of your old railroad stations, they had real nice architecture inside of them. And obviously they're somewhat spacious. A small area like this don't need a big museum like the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago. The place is huge. But just the right size for a small town museum. Oh man, I'm gonna make every single one of these red lights. The problem is, depending, of course I'm keeping my speed down, so it's alright, but the problem is that sometimes you get to this point where the light's going to turn red before you ever enter the intersection, which means that officially, whether anybody does anything about it or not, officially you've run the red light. Sometimes you've got no choice, but really in a speed zone of 30 and 35, there's no reason to run a red light. So, but if you're doing right at 35 with a truckload of pallets 13 feet in the air, yeah, you really, it's a lightweight load, so you can bring it to a stop, but the thing of it is that if you hit the brakes too hard, this truck's got really good brakes. They put brand new brakes on it, brand new tires, all the way around the tractor. And right when I got out of that white truck, got into this one. In fact, they had done all that to this truck because they knew I was getting into this one. This truck is older, it rattles, shakes, squeaks, and shimmies a little more. But I'd rather be in this one than that white one anyway. If that white one would have had the tandem axle where, you know, you get certain situations, you lock the rear axle in, and so both of those tandems will be doing driving. All these trucks have the ability to lock in or out one of the two axles in the rear. It's like a four-wheel drive. You don't drive on asphalt with the four-wheel drive locked in. And same thing with these trucks. Only one of those axles back there is actually pulling. The other one just rolls until you hit that interlock lever. But those white trucks that I've been driving, you know, it looks similar to this truck. There's 5 of them, and they're all ordered the same as a single screw. What that means is there is no interlock axle. There is no lever. At all times, only one of those axles drives. The other one rolls full time. So the forward axle, most trucks, the rear axle does the driving, and the forward axle is the interlock axle. But if it has no interlock axle, the forward axle does the driving, and the rear axle is just a dead axle, or some people call it a tag axle. Ooh, nice Jeep, like that. So I told them one time I hit a deer in one of those white trucks, and they brought me this one to drive while the radiator and hood and bumper and all that other stuff was being fixed on the other truck. Left lane. Or is this where it's going to tell me to, no, it's going to tell me to go left. But anyhow, when I drove this truck during the Christmas holiday, me and another fellow were running team. We were running that UPS stuff for Amazon, and that's when I was driving this truck. And so, of course, afterwards they get the white truck fixed and they put us back in that. And that guy, he wasn't a full-time employee here yet. He was an owner-operator trying to get his truck leased on here. For whatever the reason, that didn't happen. I'm not sure what happened there. He's not around here no more, Shepherd. But So the truck we were in was my assigned truck at any given moment. First the white one, then this one, and then back in the white one again. So, but I had told them when we came back after the new year, I didn't want to drive that white truck no more. Every time you get anywhere, they send you these job sites, you get stuck because you don't have the ability to lock the other axle and pull yourself through the mud. Mud, sand, loose gravel. So start of the year, while they were fixing on this truck, which they were supposed to have done toward the end of the previous year, while this one was in the shop, I drove that white truck. When this thing got fixed, here I am. I'm happier than I was because at least now I'm in the truck that I want to be in. There's a mountain directly in front of us. Ain't that pretty? We on one bridge looking over at another. Still no money here. Had I not gotten injured Friday night, I could have easily made this. Well, I couldn't deliver till this morning regardless, but I could have gotten up here for Friday night, Saturday morning, and at that point in time there was no threat of snow. My wife was going to drive from the house down here because it's 4 hours in car, which means it's 4.5, 5 hours in this truck, north by northeast, just to get to the house, and then come back south by southwest that same distance Monday morning to deliver. That wasn't going to happen. So she was going to drive down. I'll take the truck out of route if wherever I'm heading, I can still be going that same direction. Like if I'm heading to Dallas from Memphis, I'm not going to go to Dallas from Memphis via Melbourne, Arkansas. That's just not practical. But now, say if I'm going to Denver, Colorado, then instead of taking 40 west and then working my way north out of Oklahoma City or somewhere around there, Amarillo, Texas, I'll go ahead to the house, work my way up to Kansas City, and take 70 straight across. Out of route, but not really a whole lot out of the way. Might add a few miles, but I ain't going to be adding no 100, 200, 300 miles. Which is what, if I'd have gone home this weekend, that's what it would have done. Diesel costs too much. I'm not going to do my boss that way. He's not a bad guy. He's really a good guy. He's just... He's not a businessman. You know, not trying to put him down. He's just not his strong point. Unfortunately, of the 3 women in the office, the 2 that are actually given the responsibility to run this company, neither one of them has a mind for business either. You're supposed to make money from your customers, not from your employees. And that's how it is anymore, not just here. I talked to a driver one day that drove for Schneider, you know, big orange trucks. And she was an owner-operator. She owned her own truck. But if you have your own trailer, everywhere you go, they have to live load you, which means you got to park and sit and wait for 8 hours to get loaded, sometimes longer. And then when you get where you're going, you might have to wait 10, 15 hours before they assign you a door, because they got so many trucks waiting to get unloaded. And then when you finally get to the door, it's going to take another 8 hours to unload it. Whereas if you just come in there tractor only, lease onto the company, pull their trailers, so they're going to charge you for pulling their trailers. But you'll make more money because you'll be running more freight, because you'll be running more miles, because instead of loading and unloading, you're going to drop and hook everywhere you go. Or most everywhere you go. But anyway, she said that what they do is the computer has a designated route assigned to her. Now, she doesn't have to take that route. You do if you're a company driver. If you're a company driver, and these big companies, USA Truck used to do the same thing. You're gonna, Qualcomm's gonna be going off, you're gonna be getting a lecture. USA Truck was so bad, they'd actually tell you where to stop for fuel, take on 30 gallons here, fill the tank there, because it was keeping up with how the fuel's cheaper some places than others. They'd have you drive, in 11 hours of driving, probably 2 hours was spent waiting in line just to fuel the truck at 3 different truck stops. Somehow you're still supposed to be productive and turn in miles and get loads delivered on time and meet appointments and whatever else. But this woman told me that what they do at Schneider is she can go whatever route that she wants. But the computer will figure out the difference in the miles. And let's say the way she wants to go because it's a less stressful route to drive. Less traffic, less hills, you know, whatever. Oh, that's so pretty right there. Oh, pretty, 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 pretty. Where am I at here anyway? Oh, I forgot it. It stopped and started again, so the time isn't accurate now. I'll have to figure this out later. Put this in the title in case somebody wants to skip all the first part and come straight to the good stuff. But anyway, let's say if she'd have gone the route that they wanted her to go, it might be 1,100 miles. But by going the route that she wants to go, it's going to be 1,250 miles. And that's a difference of 150 miles. And they would charge her, I think it was like 11 cents a mile. 9 cents a mile, something. It was right around the 10 cent a mile mark. I don't know why 11 comes to my mind though. They would charge her so much per mile for when she went over the designated route because that's extra wear and tear on the tires. Really? Oh man. These tires last minimum, if you don't curb them and blister them out and bust the sidewall open. Keep your air pressures checked on them so they don't run hot and blow. These tires last a minimum of a year. If you're not running gravel too much, you're not making real sharp turns, making U-turns in parking lots and things, scrubbing the tread a little bit. Oh, it's so pretty. Pretty, 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 pretty. You'll get every bit of a year or more out of the tires. And they're going to charge you so much per mile for 150 miles when you're driving 150,000 miles a year on those tires. 150 miles is nothing. The company I used to work for, some trucking companies, like a lot of trucking companies, they piss their drivers off. Without a driver, there'd be no need for the trucking company. So nobody, not the truck company owner, not the dispatchers, no accountants. So not a whole lot of cell towers, but cell towers there are. Every now and then, depending which direction you're facing, there can be a mountain ridge between you and the tower. Keep losing service. That's the way it goes. Stick around though, the views are spectacular. They're worth waiting for. So much so to the point that drivers would interrupting me. Get service, pull over and stop. Anyway, they decided they had to do something about it. In my opinion, what they should have done was built a small little tool shed, put some heat and an air conditioner in it right inside the gate, hire a security guard. That would have solved it all right there, but all that involves spending money. What if we can find a way to solve this and actually make money in the process? Well, like most business owners, I don't want to say greed, but the idea of increasing money as opposed to spending money, that's always a good thing. So they implemented the $25 rule. And I know y'all thinking, well, wow, what's the $25 rule? And how is 25 bucks making money to a trucking company that makes thousands on a load? Well, let me explain. 75 drivers, something like that at the time. They came up with the $25 rule. While you're in the office BSing with dispatch or turning your paperwork in or in the shop getting your report written for whatever repairs the truck needs, if they happen, somebody from the office happens to walk out, and this was their job, they were told by the owner they had to start doing this. If they walk out and open the door of your truck and your door is not locked, therefore they're able to open it, whether the keys are in the ignition or not, 25 bucks. If the door is locked and they can't open it, then they'll climb up on the step and look into the window. A lot of us have 2 sets of keys so that you can leave the engine running for the air conditioning or the heat while you're off at the truck stop or wherever, and then you have the other key to lock the door. So since you're in the habit of always using the one key to lock the door, even when the engine is off, you leave the other key in the ignition. Well, if your door is locked, but the key's in the ignition, 25 bucks. If the door is locked and the engine is running, obviously key in the ignition, 25 bucks. If the door is locked, the key is not in the ignition, obviously the engine's not running, they bring the shop key with them. Because the next thing is they're to gain entry into the truck, because after all, the truck doesn't belong to you, it's your assigned truck, it belongs to the owner. Thus the company's agent has the right to gain entrance in that truck, whether you want them in there or not. They unlock the door, let themselves in, if the floor has not been swept. You know, a lot of the places they send you is dirty, muddy. Sometimes you're busy. It might be a little while. You know, I might go a week or more without sweeping the truck out sometimes. The way it is. Oh well. 25 bucks. If the dash is covered with dust and all kinds of filth around the air conditioning vents and ashtray overflowing, whatever, 25 bucks. And the reason they had done all this, because now you say, well, what's that got to do with the trucks being stolen? I can see about the keys to the ignition, I can see about the door not being locked, but how does the rest of that have anything to do with preventing a truck? It doesn't. But they were on a roll. Figured, hey, what the heck, let's do this, that, and the other. If the side boxes, most trucks have these little side boxes underneath the sleeper, storage. Not all, but some trucks, you can gain entrance into this emergency hatch from inside that side box. If the side boxes are not locked, yep, 25 bucks. And I went inside and I told them, I said, you know, it's a sad, sad day when an employer starts trying to find ways to make money from his employees instead of from his customers. There's only so much you can do to raise the rate, the transportation shipping rate. There's only so much you can do to raise the rate to cover your costs. If you raise it much further, your customer is going to find someone else who's willing to haul freight for less, even if it means getting less than desirable service in the process. Yeah, well, they're not always on time, and yeah, they're rude to my people when they come to the docks, but I'm saving a ton of money using them, you know, that kind of thing. Oh, it's so pretty through here. Pretty, 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 pretty. I look forward to the day that Mom and we get our van complete so we can go off and start taking some road trips, which I'm not going to wait till I get it done to start taking road trips. We're going to take road trips in it while we're fixing on it. As long as there's a place to lay down, have heat and air conditioning, we're going to go. But anyway, yeah, I just think that it's messed up that there's so many different things people do anymore, like about Schneider earlier, charging that woman however many cents a mile for dragging the trailer 150 miles out of route. Trucking's always been a kind of stab the driver in the back industry, but it's just gotten to be even worse of that type of an industry now. So. Wow, I can't believe he waited. I'd have bet money that the pickup truck was going to start right out in front of him. Waldron, 7 miles. I got till 9 o'clock to check in with the office. She sent me a text. Want to know where I'm at. Haven't heard from you all weekend. Well, of course you haven't heard from me all weekend. I'm hurting, and I'm not in the mood to deal with people that piss me off when I'm hurting. When I'm hurting, I'm agitated. And these people agitate me. Y'all can hear that engine torquing or not, but that was a steep pull right there. I'm going to have to drop down to 8th gear to do it. That's because I don't have very heavy load. That roll, however I say that, R-O-E-L-L, that curtain side truck, he's more than likely loaded with steel. That's what those trucks are best used for. The only problem with them is you can't load anything from overhead. The roof is steel, just like on a van, steel or aluminum. You load it just like you would a flatbed with a forklift from the sides. A lot of times those type of trailers there, what they'll do with them, you open the curtains up. It's pretty much like opening the curtains to the windows of your home. But instead of having two curtains that meet in the middle, it's just one curtain starts at one end going all the way to the other. And they'll pull them forward or backward depending on where they want to load at. If you want to load more forward, you put the curtains to the back. And they'll have a dock that they can back that truck into, and the dock is the same height as the trailer. There's just a very few inches on either side of the trailer, so that the forklift can get right up to the edge of the concrete without slipping off and load the trailer that way, as opposed to having to lift the load up higher in the air and risk, tipping or anything else. And then when they're done, you still got right up in there in the dock, throw your straps and your chains over it, secure the load, pull the curtains shut, and when you get back outside, hit all those latches, all those little buckles. No trailer trucking. Just with the little slurs. But the kind of stove with the most convenience, I I suppose. But to me, and the covered wagon's pretty decent too. The side kit with the tarp and hoop on the top. But even those have their issues. If you got a truckload full of pipe, for example, greasy, nasty pipe, you got to crawl between the tarp and the load all the way to the nose. You know, of course, lifting the tarp as you go, but you got to do this all the way to the nose to get the tarp all the way over those hoops before you can move the hoops to be able to get access to the load from above. And lift pipe off with a crane usually. But as far as staying clean, the ease of use, ease of maintenance, I think a curtain side is the way to go. If you need to load from overhead, then yeah, a curtain side's not the way to go. But whatever you're doing, if you can load it from the side or leave the curtains closed, open the doors, and load it like you would a van from the rear, curtain side's the way to go. I hope this little town has a restaurant or something in it. I'm hungry. That mountain overhead, look, ain't that pretty? Of course, off in the distance, it's just a big gray blob. But I already know the closer I get to it, the greener it becomes. Right now it's all green and brown for all, you know, all the trees that are currently dormant. But there's still plenty of green on it too. I'll say this, now I miss living in Texas. I loved living down there. I really did. And but the cost of living, the best choice, instead of the mama selling her home and moving down there where I was at, renting. The best choice was for me to move up here. But I gotta tell you, old George Strait, you ever realize how much he sings about Texas? Hell, he sings about the majority of 3/4 of the state in that song, All My Exes Live in Texas. They're naming city after city. Someone asked him about that one day, and he said he just loves living in Texas, traveling the state of Texas, and there is a lot to see in Texas, the wide open spaces and all. There's things I want to go back and see and do in Texas. Every now and then I'll call home and, hey, write this down, and I'll tell the mama an exit number off the interstate, something I saw that I want to come back and look at more closely. Usually an old building or an old bridge or some trail to go exploring, whatever. But I will admit, and I've traveled this country, I have seen some beautiful places, y'all. When they call Arkansas the natural state, they ain't lying. Even now, what we've seen so far today is nothing compared to some of the things I've seen in this state. Get over by Mount Magazine, up and over, that is absolutely breathtaking. Route 62, you know, a little ways outside of it, Fayetteville, Springdale area, east. And right before you get to Eureka Springs, it gets all kinds of switchbacks, hilly and curvy, breathtaking views. And I've done that in a big rig, where I was heading east and I had to stop and wait for westbound traffic so I can get over on the wrong side of the double yellow line to go around the curve. Waldron, population 3,618. Salute! Can't find anything else as a McDonald's and a Subway. That'll do. Morning, going on 8:30, 8:25. West 2nd Street. Not this one. The next one. Oh, excuse me. I ain't been sleeping real good. I've injured myself. Hurt my back, hurt my thigh, hurt my leg, hurt my buttocks. Forrest Gump would say.
Turn right, West 2nd Street.
As a doctor might say, using all them big words, hurt my posterior. Chicken food right there. I know what that trailer is. Chicken mash. Danny DeVito would have said,
turn left, 1st Street.
I hurt my ass. Now this is supposed to be trucker GPS. It's supposed to only send me truck routes. I don't know about this. I've seen some trucks, but it looks to me like it's getting less and less trucker friendly.
Turn left.
That wide turn radius here, so I guess that was made for trucks. Wow, someone in the mountains that actually waved back. Whoa, the world coming to an end or something? All right. Not exactly certain what's going on here. Railroad equipment. Two more of them over there on the left. Track time. That's all that's that train inside his truck. That's all this guy does is railroad equipment. This way. Even though Lola is telling me to continue straight, this sign right here says otherwise. Hello.
How are you?
Be gentle with me. I've never been here before.
Okay, I need a photo ID.
Oh, now. Are you sure?
Yeah.
I promise not to laugh at the picture. My feelings. The last person promised, and then she started giggling. I didn't know if she was laughing at it or not, because technically I didn't tell her not to giggle. I asked her not to laugh. I don't think you could be the most awesome looking model on the planet, and I bet you still wouldn't take a good driver's license picture. I don't think anybody takes a good driver's license picture.
Usually driver's license picture or something like that is the worst.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that is. It's got to be that camera up at the angle that they're looking down at you at. I fell the other day loading these. It hurt. I've been hurting all weekend. It is what it is.
Do you have a reflective vest?
I most certainly do. Oh, that's what you're going to tell me now. I got to actually wear the roof.
Yeah. The assignments for transportation Texas has.
You need what?
Need to see your bill.
Okay. There you go.
I'm sorry, I don't have no trees.
Oh, see now you get that. Most people don't know why is she so. One day I was at a car lot, and while I was getting unloaded, I walked around and checked out some of these cars, and the guy at the car lot actually had dog treats in his pocket. And ever since then, especially at truck stops, there's truckers going to and from,
Right.
She's stretched out as far as her leash to go, trying to get dog treats from everybody.
She's looking over at me.
Yeah. She's like, hey, 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 hey. Yeah. She's so funny. That's Shelby. Yeah, the company I work for is in Shelby County, Tennessee, which is basically Memphis. And I once knew a guy who used to be a country music singer, and his name was Shelby Smith. And so when we got her, a guy who had her, she had run away, she'd become a stray, but the guy who once had her was calling her baby. Well, my wife and I, baby, hey babe, so I didn't want the dog coming every time we, so we need to find something different, but they say that when you change the dog's name, it adds confusion. So it's like, we got to find something that kind of, which Shelby don't sound so much like, but it's got the two syllables with the B sound at the end.
Right.
So that's what we call her baby. So.
Alright, I need you to read and fill this out for me. It's our cell phone and vest policy. Basically all it states is that you won't take pictures and you'll have your vest on.
Alright, so you basically promise to be on the vest and off the phone. I got you. What? Ooh, that smells just like Daddy. Alright.
I've got a couple of babies at home that you would really enjoy, I bet.
Oh, she loves me. When she meets other dogs, they play. Oh. Especially after being tied up in the truck all day. Well, she's not tied up, you know, after being stuck in the truck all day. When we get out somewhere, she loves just run around, romp around, play. Of course, I don't think she's a year old yet. Like I said, she was a stray. When we got her, she was a stray, so we're not really sure how old she is. I would say 8 to 10 months.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, because my big dog gets to go get fixed. She had her first litter of puppies. She had 11 puppies. Yeah, and rid of 11 puppies.
Oh my goodness, yeah, I reckon. But Mom, you know how much you need one around the house. You know,
Right?
because you can have the worst sales technique ever, but when your dog has pups, you become a salesman, man. It's in your blood.
Yeah.
All right, so now,
Definitely.
where am I going from here?
Okay. Just on the other side of these 2 feet trucks.
Yes.
There's going to be a shed over there. Just pull up in front of that shed and you can start unstrapping. They'll come out and unload you.
The one's got the steel roof on it?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
You too.
Whoa, shit. Maybe you should have opened that. Oh, man. I'm glad it's only plastic. Dang. There we go. If that's the worst thing that happens to anybody in a day, so be it. I hadn't even paid attention so she hadn't opened it. I told her I'd never been here before. You might want to do that before you tell me I'm clear to go. I imagine that's the reason they made it out of PVC pipe instead of wood. So it'll take a beating. All right. So I'm where I need to be. I promised I won't take pictures, so technically I guess I need to shut this off regardless. Then put my vest on, go ahead and get these straps pulled so I can get unloaded. Y'all have a good day. Hope you enjoyed the scenery. We'll figure out what the plan is after this and see y'all again in a little while.